Good morning. Good morning. Today is Saturday, October 24, 2020. It's probably about like a 5:20 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, I'm using my phone to do this. I try to do a live stream, and it says that I'm not able to do live stream um, on this device, mobile device. It did allow me to do the live stream, was that 2 days ago on my desktop, but not this. And I just want to get some things off my chest. Yeah, this will be my second video on this channel uh, from a long time ago, since a long time ago. Yeah, I did the video 2 days ago. Uh, my primary channel is closed right now. I got banned for a week because I provided information on the COVID that these medical doctors who were treating their patients successfully, and it's being deemed spam and other nonsense. I did contest it. Uh, just want to get it off my chest. I'm just a little sad and disappointed right now. I live in New York City. Boy, it's really something. This is a Blackcom Warning channel. This was a very active channel, and I stopped using this channel a couple of years ago, but I briefly started uploading to this channel as a backup to my new primary channel, Spirit Journey channel. I just feel it's important to just get it off my chest. Okay, I've been let's see. I'm born and raised in New York City, and that's where I'm talking from. And what you see now is my view of the skyline, beautiful Manhattan skyline. I'm very sad about what's happening with New York City. It's my heart. Things have been sliding downward. New York City, the demographics is changing for the worse. New York had its shiny side. It always had both components. It had its polished side, and then it had its rotten side. It is the Big Apple. I love the city. I love Manhattan. You can get anything here. You can get the best food, the best stores here. We have parks. We have doctors. You have everything. But it's going down the hill. Customer service, everything. And what I wanted to talk about today, I was just thinking about the store. Yes, COVID is still being enforced here with wearing the masks. I wear the masks if I'm going into a store, but out in the street, no. So when I leave my door from my apartment, I have to put the mask on, and once I leave the lobby, I take my mask off. I'm not around other people. I just take care of, just do what I have to do when I go out. I bring my dogs with me. I have 3 little dogs, For those of you who don't remember, yeah, I put them in a stroller, a shopping cart actually. Two of them had surgery, and one of them is okay. But yeah, they like these shopping carts to go in it, and it's really convenient to go places with them in there. They don't do well in the hot weather. Now the weather's starting to get cool right now, but they like it. And so I say, just put them in there when I go to the park, Central Park. I stroll them about, and then I take them out, and so they can just um, get real earthy with nature. Uh, but New York has this other side, as I'm saying, and it's weighing on me. Uh, the services here, like I used to shop at this supermarket, and it's been around for many years, very rustic, and they had moved to a new location because the building that they were in was being rebuilt. Yeah, they were pulling it down and then erecting up a very large sky, skyscraper. Well, last year, this time, but it was last year, they were to open. They didn't open last year, uh, but it's open now. They just opened maybe no more than 2 weeks ago, and I had gone there a week, about a week ago, not knowing that they had just opened. Uh, I usually go. I have been going in a different direction for shopping, and then this I say, hey, let me just go back the other way, and that's when I saw that it was open. So I got my initial shopping, so store next to it, and then I say, hey, let me go in, see what they have. And when I go in there, oh, it's a, um, I had my big shopping cart with the groceries all bagged. Took the elevator to the basement level, and it looked nice. It looked very modern. And then I'm approached by this man, chubby white fellow, tall, and he's yelling at me. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to have your shopping cart down here. I said, well, I didn't know. I said, well, the people, I said, it's too big to not notice, and no one told me I couldn't come in with my shopping cart. He says, well, that's why we have shopping carts upstairs just for you guys, so you don't have to bring your shopping cart. I'm thinking, well, I did shopping in another store. It's not the only store I do shopping in. So I then leave. I didn't buy anything, but I was really taken back. And I think I'll write like in New York City, they have like um, when stores open up, people have like I think it's called Yelp, and you can write your experience in a store. I think I'll do that. I was very taken back. See people now. It's a lack of respect, and to come out from him if he's oh, there was another thing. He didn't have like a name tag or anything. He didn't introduce himself as being a manager or anything, an employee, whatever. And that was another problem. You have to identify yourself. Your store just opened, and the fact that I'm there with a shopping cart, and I have stuff in it, and then he wants me to leave my shopping cart up front. Now, you think I'm going to trust these people? These people, the cashiers, that they're going to watch my shopping cart? They were watching me when I came in with my groceries. You think they're going to care? And they looked very tired, like they didn't want to be there. That's another thing. And, you know, I'm going to say this, like, a lot of the people in the, who work in the supermarkets, the grocery stores, many of these people aren't documented workers, and they're there for a check. And that's what's happening in New York City. And this is not an anti-immigration video, but see, when you hire people who don't have documentation, they're on a survival mode, they're there, and maybe they don't want to be there. And it's an attitude that could happen. And people who hire people who may not be really fully documented, it shows their mindset too, that they are exploiting labor. But it's a lack of respect. And they should really be humble. Again, they just opened up, brand new, and it looks nice. And I do know one of the managers there, which was a whole drama that happened some years ago. It was quite a while ago, 7 years ago, an incident happened. And I said to myself, you're going to have people who do foolish things. Overall, the store was good, but person put their foot in their mouth. They exposed who they were. But there are not that many stores to get you groceries. I said, just take it as a lesson. What could happen? So with this incident, again, it's a different manager. I never saw this person. So it just shows, at least reinforces to me a mindset of the people who manage that store. And I'm very sad because it's known in the city. It has its history. And they were even on television once, in a movie, because it was a popular mom and pop type of store in its heyday. I'm not going to give the name. Things change, and I think that's the whole scenario with New York City and all of us. We are all changing, and some of us aren't changing for the better. New York, I'm very nostalgic. I miss the fantastic pizza parlors. We have pizza parlors galore right now, but it's the dollar slice pizza, and it's not made with the same type of people who made the pizzas from 30 and 40 years ago. They knew their pizza. Now it's just, I don't know. When I went to one pizza parlor and I asked, oh, could you put extra cheese and spinach on top? Oh, I'm sorry, we don't do that here. Unheard of. See, the culture, the whole thing is changing. It's not, you have new people, but they're not incorporating the old culture with the new. It's just a wannabe, all wannabes. The stores are, it's just not the same customer service. And no, I'm not one of those Karens. I'm really laid back. But there is an expectancy when you go into a store, just basic courtesies, at least identify yourself who you are when you approach someone. You don't yell at somebody. And you just open up. And people are leaving the city. Yes, People are, I heard, I think they said 40,000 people have left New York City in this COVID. They're leaving because it's becoming dangerous. You have a lot of derelicts on the street being groped. I was groped about 2.5 months ago. And it took the police 30 minutes to come. I had tried to get help. And the person in the store that I asked for help was a woman. Young woman, late teens, early 20s. She starts to yell at me and not wanting to get involved. See that we don't care anymore. New York City is turning into a real streety place. Some would call it urban, and you know that's a euphemism. It it's really getting bad. There's a lot of homelessness on the street. Beggars all over. And now the beggars are getting mean, and they're being hostile if you don't give them. Even one beggar. And sometimes I don't give anymore on the street. When that beggar had groped me. See, a lot of them are not mentally, sound. And I used to feel sorry for these guys, and I used to buy food for them when they said they were hungry. When I didn't have my dogs with me, I'd go to the supermarket and buy them food. But not anymore. So it could have been yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was walking. Yeah, I had my dogs with me in the stroller. And a relatively young guy says, could you spare me 75 cents? I want to get some food, blah, blah, blah. And I just said, Nana said hello, to let them know, yes, I saw you, I heard you, I'm not going to give, but I'm going to give you respect and, say hello, whatever, give respect. And I kept on going. And then I hear him say, some things, come back at you. And I was taken back. Because what he's implying that I don't care about him and that I could be on the street. Yes, I was homeless twice. I lived in a shelter twice. I was never on the street, but I went to a homeless shelter twice. And I remember during the time when I was living in a shelter, and you had beggars asking me for something on the train. So I gave this guy my cookies. I had a thing of cookies that I brought with me from the shelter. And you know what he did? He looked at it and he threw it at me, back at me. Then he kind of like goes down on the ground, like he threw himself on the ground and starts screaming like an infant. You never know people, what people are all about. They're getting so edgy. And it could have been maybe a month ago even. And I do live streams when I'm walking my dogs many times, when I'm going to the park. And I had the camera going on, and a beggar, very young guy, comes up to me, and he gets in the camera while I'm filming myself, and he gets hostile. verbally abusive at me. I got angry. Well, I told him I'm sorry. No, like he was showing me something written on a paper plate, a white paper plate. I don't want to read anything. Some, He sees I'm busy. I'm with my pack, and I'm walking at a steady pace. He wants me to stop and read this literature on this paper plate, and he needs money or something. I said to him very nicely, I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then he sucked his teeth at me. And that's when I kind of got angry. And I told him, look, I'm a veteran and I'm a disabled veteran. Let him know who he's talking to. I'm not just someone, I'm not a millionaire. So where do you get your money from? Where do you get your money from? And then I did something because I thought he was going to come at me, but it was spontaneous. I know I did something, body language, and then he backed off, and then he went to harass some other people. It's a lack of respect, and especially the younger people in their 20s and 30s. They have no discipline. They want everything now, now, now. They do not respect the elderly, the elders, or the elderly. It's a wild dog mentality. They don't work to show their pride in themselves and what they produce. It's all about money, money, money. And nothing wrong wanting money, but give a service, give, a smile, something. It's a lack of connectedness, human connectedness. We're not helping each other. And New York City, the people that you see on the street are mostly black people, black American people. And the black population in New York City that you see in New York City, meaning Manhattan, is like a renegade. They're a real rough cut, just like they lost their mind. And then you have newer demographics who are getting the jobs. Most of the jobs, most places I go to in my everyday shopping are Hispanic or Asian. Very few black people that work in establishments in Manhattan, I see. And the ones that are working in establishments, it's like, boy, I just hope nothing bad happens to me. It is such a rough cut. And the people here the newer comers, they're just about they don't love our country. They love what you can get from it. I even given my primary channel, Spirit Journey channel. I had gone to the village, Greenwich Village, and the East Village with my dogs in the shopping cart, and I had a really great walk. I just wanted to reminisce. I was thinking about the village people, the group. I said, hey, I might as well go to the Greenwich Village. So I took a nice long walk there. It takes about an hour to actually get down there to walk. And then I wanted to go to my favorite restaurant. It's an Asian restaurant. I think I went there for the first time. It could have been late last year. I had a fantastic time. And so this might have been the 5th time I went there. And an incident happens. And I see that, this could be a trend now. people get so desperate for money, and I'm really shocked because I like generally the Asian store. They excellent service. This is what's being done. Now I placed my order. They said, "Oh, would you like rice with that?" I said, "Oh, does it come with rice?" And something is just because this happened before. And I know I responded, "Oh, well, how much is the rice?" And he says, "Well, it doesn't cost anything. Your meal, the rice comes with the meal." I said, "The rice comes with the meal?" Then I said, "Well, if it is free, and if it comes with the meal, then I'll have some rice." I asked if they had the brown rice. They didn't, so they just gave me the white rice. And then when I got the bill, I was to eat there out in the cafe, which I've done before with my pooches, and there were other people out there. They must assume I was just takeout, but I was to eat there, so I didn't like that they had in the bag. So I sat, I had sat down to eat it, and I noticed on on the receipt, I said bill, I meant the receipt, because I had to pay up front. I see that they charged me for the rice. Now the rice was only like $1.50. I mean, that's not a lot of money. But I went because something told me this rice is good. They're going to try to do an add-on. So I was getting. I spoke the way I did, so that he cannot say, "Oh, I didn't understand," or because a lot of places they pretend all of a sudden they don't speak English. Okay. And so I signaled them to come out. And to make a long story short, he denied the conversation. And I said, "Are you the same person that took my order?" Because I want to make sure that it's the same person, because I'm not the best with faces. He said, "Yes, I took your order." I said, "Well, you're telling me we never discussed that when I asked you that, well, how much the rice was, and then you insist it doesn't cost anything because it comes with the meal?" No, I never said that. So I said, "Well, you did say that." So I said, "Well, if you didn't say that," I said, "what did you say?" I don't remember." Well, then I said, "Well, I'll remind you." See, people are getting desperate, and they do what they call add-ons. They're hoping that you don't notice. They just pay it and leave, whatever. And this has happened before at the restaurant, and I was eating inside the store. They ask you if you want the rice, and I asked them, "Oh, does it come with the rice?" And so, since there's a lot of people eating at that time around, and they probably all heard what I asked. So I asked for the manager, and he apologized, and he said, "We'll remove it from your bill." So I think that's why now I didn't consciously go in there, and when he asked me for the rice, I didn't like really consciously say, "Oh, this happened before," but just something said to ask, just to make sure, because it's just something that I picked up. And there was something else that they did, the visit before this one. You pay by the weight, and you point out what meats and then what veggies you want. So I know when I pointed, what something was, I said, "I want that," and then I noticed that he added a few more pieces on. Oh, that's weird. And then I pointed to the other thing I wanted. I said, "Okay, that's enough." And then he did it again, put like 2 extra pieces. So I thought, oh, maybe he likes me, he just wants to give me some extra meat, whatever. But I was just surprised. Well, he did that for me to pay extra. I wanted a half a pound. It was almost 1 pound was point nine something or point eight something. That's almost a pound. And I was just too kind of like, wow. I felt a little embarrassed because I thought maybe he was, whatever, and he just wanted to give me a few extra pieces. So I never had this type of nonsense done to me before. I've been at places like those vegetable stands. I had a guy who gave me free food. I thought the bag was for somebody else, but he gave it to me. I said, "Wow, yeah." So that's what I thought maybe what it was, because I've eaten there several times, the restaurant, not that I'm talking about. So I said maybe that's what it is, but no, they're trying to milk me out of money. That's what it was. I specifically had a half a pound, and then why if someone said okay that's enough, because they want you to pay more. So how it ended this incident, when he finally admits, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I said, okay now. Because if someone said they're sorry, and he said he's sorry, so I said, okay, you're sorry. Okay, how are you going to fix the bill? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't correct it. I can't change it. Sure, they can. So well, you got to do something because I wouldn't pay for white rice. He says, well, okay, the tip, I won't charge the tip. Okay. Well, I better check this bill, make sure they didn't charge, because see, I'm upset, and I did a video about the incident right after it happened. I should have taken out my phone and record the guy, because he was ridiculous. See, people aren't caring anymore. This was a fantastic Chinese restaurant. Really modern. Oh, I loved it. My first visit, it was very attractive. Um, Relatively small, not big place, not a big place at all, but it was nice. It's in a college town area in the city. Yeah, a lot of everybody. And I'm wondering, is this just greed because of people aren't eating out as much? I don't know. But again, this happened. We're the places, the quality of the food isn't good anymore. I went to this other grocery store that I've been going to for the past few years. Uh, I get my produce, and the food is awful. Like 2 weeks ago, no, maybe 3 weeks ago, I bought, because I was doing like a cleanse, a fruit cleanse, and I wanted to do it for a period of 2 weeks, and it was It was good. I bought a watermelon, and then I bought mangoes, and it was fine. And then I go back after the supply was gone, after like 2 3 weeks. Went to get it again, and it wasn't right. The watermelon was a pale color inside. It wasn't a very red flesh like before, and the mangoes was awful. I just thought, okay, it's just an off moment, you know. So I just went again this week, and it's even worse, even worse. So it's like, um, see, this place where I got the fruit, now they've been very polite to me. Sometimes when I'm putting up trying to put the veggies or whatever in the little plastic bags, uh, green, for your veggies. Not the shopping bag, but the little one for the produce. And they helped me do it. He said, oh, let me do it for you. And it's really nice. Really nice. And I appreciate it. I told her, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your help. I'll come back to them. But now it's like, hey, wait a minute. You're not getting good. Another time, it was rotten. I didn't see the bottom of the watermelon, but it was rotten. But like when I go into the place, I always say good morning, or good afternoon, say, greetings to them. So they recognize me. And that's also why I do. I want them to know, like, uh, I'm American and these people are from another country in the Americas. And people may not like certain Americans, especially if you're black. So I go on my way to be polite. Hey, how you doing? I want them to know me, know my face, and know that I'm a good person, and I'm not here to judge them. I'm here to get my food, buy my food, and I want to enjoy the process. Hey, how you doing? All the just small talk. And I think for that reason, that's why she warned me. Hey, oh, wait a minute, that's a bad melon. Look underneath. And when I turned around, it was rotten. Shoot. So I appreciate that she warned me because some people wouldn't warn you. See, it's when you in New York City, you have to see it's people against other people because you have so many newcomers, and then you have the jealousies that could come about, and I have to protect myself. And so I have to go out my way to greet people, to greet foreigners, let them know, hey, I'm okay. I'm not here to judge you. I treat you like a human being, and I want to be treated the same. I want them to know me, and in case of emergency, I want them to know, hey, okay, isn't that the lady? Hey, you may need help. What if you fall on the ground? Anything, you get mugged, whatever. You want people to know you. When people identify with you, people recognize who you are, and you're a local person. You're from the neighborhood. You're a shopper there for years. They know that you're just not some. No, because there's a lot of crazy people out there. I say hello to the cops. I want them to know my face. And it's all about protecting yourself. And also, I do like people. I like talking to people. I like saying hello. I like feeling good inside. I'm starting not to feel good inside when I go out. Some of my experiences, people aren't loving one another. People are hating each other. It's really bad. The customer service. It's just really bad. And so yes, people are leaving. And so what is it leaving behind? It's leaving behind the poor. The rich, they're out. They have their multiple homes, whatever. They're out. But now it's leaving. You know what New York City is? Okay. You have the illegals, a large number of illegals, and you have newcomers who are here legally. You have poor urban blacks. You have poor Hispanics from the Caribbean and other parts of Latin America. And then you have the East Asian who is the college graduate living in the new high-rise buildings. And many of them are leaving. Right across from the tenant right next to me, it keeps changing. They're leaving. I think they might, I don't know whether they're being harassed by their next door neighbor. That's a component too. I remember when they moved in, I said hello and greet, hey, how you doing? My name is Miss So and So. Yeah, see, some of the East Asians, they're becoming afraid because they're not liked by, like, some of the Hispanics, the Puerto Ricans. I know it sounds bad what I'm saying, but this was happening. They're not liked by them. And they had the music blasting, and I think it's to harass them. And they left. And then new people, new East Asians came in, and they left again. They don't stay long. Yeah, South Asians, they might have been students or something. They stayed the least. Yeah, I think that it was just a private thing in between. Yeah, that's also what's being done in my building. Uh, they get people who they're not leaseholders. They just like a hotel. They have a room available, and then they fill it. They just stay, for a short time and they go. Yeah, they do. It's illegal to do that, and it's getting messier. So there's garbage on the floor, and yeah, then we started getting bugs all of a sudden. And I told downstairs, hey, I found a big water bug in the where the garbage room is. They said, oh, with the people, moving out and everything, and blah blah blah. Yeah, we'll clean it up right away. Yeah. See, that's another thing. What's happening when you have a lot of traffic, when you have people who are not vested where you live. So this includes your apartments. If you live in an apartment building, a high rise, uh, people who aren't vested, people who aren't leaseholders, they just come and go, come and go. Throw the garbage on the floor. They don't care. Oh, it's just like a hotel. Let me just throw it on the floor. That's their mentality. But people live here, and it's getting messy. When I moved into the building that I'm currently in, it was brand new. It was still being built when I moved in. Beautiful place. It's changing. Neighbors changing. And sometimes I feel like they're afraid of me. The people from East Asia that move in, it's like they're real, like timid. So again, I go on my way and say, hi, how are you doing? Hi, I'm your neighbor. I'm in such and such here apartment. And they just seem like they had a bad experience. And I know some people might have mistaken me for Hispanic. And I'm not about all this foolishness. I don't care what race you are. I don't want to get like that. We're neighbors. We're not neighbors anymore because we're all afraid and judging each other because of their race or what food they cook. It's awful. Yeah, my neighbor, they left. I was going out. Um, it looked like construction was being done, and I see him wheeling this thing out. And I forget what I said. He says, "Oh, I'm moving." I said, "You're moving?" He says, "Yeah, I'll be out the first of the month. I'm just cleaning up." I said, "Oh, okay." Then he says, "Oh, well, I'm just moving next door." Now, why will you just, literally the building next door? Why? They're all about the same, the buildings are the same age. I would imagine similar management, and for them to just leave. I really feel bad. I can only speculate because one of them, the neighbor, uh, harassing. He did a no, and I told him, you know, talk to him as like he's my like a nephew or something. It's see some see what's okay. See, it's you have groups that want to pit against each other, and you have Hispanics from like the West Indies, like Puerto Rico, and they don't seem to like other people if they're not from their island, and they don't seem to like Asian people from like China. They don't seem to like them, so they had to pump blasting their music, and it's to intimidate. And then one time, this Hispanic neighbor, um, someone had talked to the concierge that the music was loud, so they notified him, concierge, which is the protocol. If you have a problem, contact the concierge, and the concierge will handle it. Well, when the concierge spoke to that apartment, he goes out in the hallway and starts cursing. You come to my face. You come to my face and tell me. And he starts using profanity and all this and that. And I open my door. What's going on? And I see him acting like a madman. You can't do this racist, biased, territorial crap. They get in the high-rise building in the same program that I'm in, 80/20, it's based on your income. It's a private building, but you get in the lottery for the apartment unit, and you get in. But they keep their streety ways. So here they have an opportunity to be in a luxury building, clean, and then you're going to bring your streets with you. So after I talked to the kid, he said, well, man, it's not directed at you, but the so and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm a drunk right now, and blah, blah. I said, okay, you don't need to be drunk out here. Just go back home. Just go back in your apartment, just chill out. But no, I want to get off my chest, man. Real streety. Real streety. And the mother, turned out, would be doing something on my door. Like, that's why, see, I have little dogs. And she thought it was cute to knock on my, to bang on my door when she walks by so my dogs would bark. Real stupid. Stupid. See, this is also why certain demographics don't want certain groups living in their buildings because of foolishness like this. I was furious because I was wondering what was wrong with my dog. Why they keep but now how I found out, I was leaving my apartment, at the door, closing the door, and I see this neighbor, Hispanic neighbor, and she says, oh, sometimes I'd be passing your door and, brushing it or knock on it because I like to hear them bark. I said, oh. I should have told her about herself. I was just shocked. See, I'm always being shocked. I got to learn how to respond a little better. See, people like her wouldn't like people to do that to them. See, they get on a predator mode. They're fearful. They want to feel territory is their territory. And that I don't like. Yeah, the people from East Asia, they don't bother a soul. They don't bother anybody. They're quiet, they mind their business, they do, and see, it's things like this that sabotage blacks and Hispanics because of our behavior. And I feel like I always have to go out my way to be a good role model, to be, to people, for Asians and whites to see, hey, I'm okay. I'm not all of us are assholes. And now the creme de la creme have left New York City. And the other stores now that have remained open, they're desperate. And they'll hire anybody. And they're hiring questionable people. The people who aren't really groomed for the position. It's like a wild weed there. And you don't know how they're going to, something you feel like you're going to be attacked. It's a horrible feeling. They take this street and they bring it to work with them. And I'm sorry to say that. Things that I've seen girls fighting, fist fighting, completely unprofessional. It's getting like Wild Kingdom, New York City. Back in the day, 40 years ago, 35 years ago, yes, things weren't good for blacks back then, but at least you can get good service. You didn't have to really go, at least in New York City, in Manhattan. You're getting shopping, you're buying something, you get the customer service. Now, you're at your risk. See, it's people don't respect black people in New York. And you know who else that doesn't respect black people? Black people don't respect other black people. And so you mistreat each other. And so all those other groups start disrespecting you. And I can't take this. I don't want to be here. I'm thinking like, just kind of bite the bullet, stay indoors if you need to stay indoors. But now when you can't get your produce that's really edible, why stay? I have pets. I have 3 little dogs. Some places you cannot have pets. These are my babies. I've been in this building for over 17 years. I'm established here. I don't want to move. But I don't feel safe. You're not getting the same service anymore. People don't care anymore. So the rich left, and so it's just leaving poor black and Hispanic folk. Primarily. The Asians, I don't know, they're just real quiet. I don't know where they're socializing, where they're going. Yeah. I don't know what I don't know what to do. I love this city. It has everything. They used to have bookstores. Now they don't have the same bookstores anymore. I used to hang out at bookstores. So, yeah, my desire is just becoming a perverse, dirty city. It's not clean anymore. The subways are filthy. It's filthy. You have blacks in politics. They don't care about their they don't care about their own. I went to a doctor before. I needed some paperwork done, and but it required a psychiatrist. That's the MD, a medical doctor, not a psychologist, but a psychiatrist. So I think they asked, "Oh, do you have a preference?" I said, "Well, I prefer if you have, I would like a Black American female psychiatrist." Oh well, well, we have someone here. Oh, I think you'll really like her. Blah blah blah. And I realized it's not a black person. So I said, I'm sure that so and so is good, but it's really would be my preference. Then she says, and it was a black woman that's saying this. She said, well, some people don't identify with that term. What is that supposed to mean? Doesn't matter whether it identifies what is. I prefer. See that? And here she was a black woman. She was I think she could have been a social worker or a psychologist. She must be for someone. She sounds like an American woman, but she's not a psychiatrist. And she gets offended because I asked for a black female therapist. Amazing. And it's not the first time that I made a request like that. And it's like it's a bad thing now for black people to want other black people. If I were Hispanic, oh, I like a Hispanic. Oh, okay. I thought they would say, well, some of us don't want to call ourselves Hispanic. Sound foolish, wouldn't it? Or let's say, oh, I'm Orthodox. I would like to talk to someone who's Orthodox. Oh, okay. Oh, well, some people don't identify with being called Orthodox. It's ridiculous. We don't want to be who we are in New York City. You seen the guys are wearing these skin tight pants to show their pants are so tight that you can see their anatomy, if you know what I mean. That they're circumcised, some of them. That's just too tight for me. They're people of an alternative lifestyle, as it's called in New York City. It's just the men don't know who they are. They want to be something. Everybody wants to be something else, but they want to be called something else, and they don't like themselves. And this is New York City. And I'm very sad because it's a great, great place. A kid fell off the balcony last Monday. This past Monday. 13-year-old across the street from where I live. 6:30 in the morning. Something happened. It was a balcony. Lived on the 20th floor, and he fell to his death. He didn't die right away. He was still alive when the paramedics came. But he died. What would make a 13-year-old boy do that? They try to pass off that he just like an accident. How could that be an accident? You don't accidentally fall off 6:30 in the morning doing your homework. And maybe 3 months prior to that, an older man jumped off the roof 2 blocks away, the same strip, and fell to his death. So the places are real close to each other. Why is this? They're losing hope. It's horrible, and this election thing is not making it better. I will not vote for Biden, but there's some certain things with Trump that I find problematic now. Him going to pass a law to make it mandatory about this pro-American, to teach pro-American stuff in school. Now, on the surface, that would be okay. But what history does he want to teach? A false, romanticized history of America. I don't want to go there. And there was other thing about, what was it? Oh, I don't remember now, but it was something. And it's problematic. And it's so, I'm concerned about a far-right extreme. There's something that it wasn't right. It's going too far right. And I don't want that either. And you know, today's Saturday, and I could do an early vote. I might do it. I don't know. I'm very concerned. Either way, I believe things it's no matter what, things are going to happen. I think it's going to swing too far to the right, and I don't want that. I don't know what to do. I love this city, but I feel that I'm being pushed out of my own country. Pushed out. Black people don't want to be black anymore. We're being pushed out by the newer immigrants. They're not hiring us really. And those of us who are employed, it's poor service. This used to be a fantastic place. Yeah, it has its racism, you bet. So you just avoid those areas. And that's what I always say, just avoid places that don't treat you well. Now it's just now a new mindset now. A new demographics that's taken over the city. And it's real thuggish. Real thuggish. Yeah, we don't love ourselves anymore. But I say this today, those of you who got this far in my video, love yourself. No matter what race, no matter what gender you're born as, love yourself. Love your nationality. Love you. And love your neighbor. Thank you for listening. Peace, love, and joy. Bye-bye.